One of the most significant learnings I've had in the past few months is how empathy and motivation played a substantial role in managing teams during these unprecedented times the last couple of years. Not only that, I've seen employers going above and beyond their routine obligations to comfort employees as a family while breaking the traditional norms of what we've seen HR do. So today, joining me are three leaders from an organization that is proud to have an employee culture that is a benchmark, not even in their industry, but also in industries as a whole. I'm happy to introduce Mark Lippa, Andreas Bauerlein, and Alexandra Keegan from Kennametal. Tell us a little bit about your company, how you deliver that innovation in industrial tools, and how you're extending the innovation spark to your other departments beyond HR.
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. Thanks. So I've been with the organization a little over 15 years, and we are a global organization with employees in over 39 countries around the globe. And we're a $2 billion company, so pretty large organization. And the foundation of our business is around creating wear solutions. So we make things out of tungsten carbide predominantly that are to last longer in very demanding environments, whether it's drilling in oil sands or it's drilling holes in a piece of metal for an engine block. You can imagine the difficulty that comes with being able to innovate vehicles, cars, geo exploration. And so our
Right.
customers come to us and say, hey, can you help us solve a problem? And we have 9,000 employees across the globe that every day wake up to innovate products that will solve the problems that our customers face.
How do you ensure your people are at the peak of their productivity?
So we measure key results in this organization, and we really look at the financial performance of the organization. We look at innovative products that we sell every year. So we always are having to bring new products to the market. We obviously look at our performance for our customers. And lastly, we really look at our employee engagement, and we measure that through a few different ways, both through an engagement survey as well as through some other tools like looking at attrition, both voluntary and involuntary attrition. We try to take the time to tell our employees we appreciate what they do. We give our employees a vehicle to tell one another thank you, not just from management down, but peer to peer, or even from our line level employees back up to management. And so, really, to drive peak performance, the pause is to say thank you and to recognize people for their efforts.
What do you have in place to help employees say thank you? What are the crucial factors that you put in place to get employee engagement right?
So we did implement a solution based on SuccessFactors and together with Xoxoday. So it's a seamless integrated solution to redeem basically the awards, because one of the most important things is you can build like a fancy program on awarding employees and say thank you, but at the end the redemption process must be really useful and easy and user friendly to your employees. Otherwise it creates more frustration than it helps on engagement. We learned from our previous solution we had that a seamless integration into our system landscape is a plus and it's a must. Otherwise, you would end up in big efforts on administrating files and file feeds and fixing errors through that. So we found on the market the solution really seamless integrated with no extra interfaces and file feeds. And this led us to that solution at the end.
How did you land on this SuccessFactors and Xoxoday combination?
I mean, we had some the learnings out of our existing solution. We really regrouped and came across with the requirements and like the must-haves. So one was really the seamless integration, no big file feeds, no big administrative efforts behind the scenes. And the Xoxoday solution seemed to be the best integrated solution on SuccessFactors. And it is really from an user experience, it's a seamless integration. There is no barrier on like moving from the award piece to the redemption piece.
Hey, Craig, I want to add to that. One of the requirements is to be able to apply this globally. And so when we started to scope out how do we reward our people the same way, regardless of where they are in the world. So I sit in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Andrea sits in Germany. We have employees in China, in India. And we often see cross-regional teams working together to achieve results. And so we didn't want to reward the people in India differently than the people in Germany or the people in the US. So one of the criteria that Xoxoday brought to us was a unified platform that we could apply globally, regardless of where people were, and then be able to reward people, and then they can use their points in a regional or localized level to obtain the products they wanted. And that was a key feature that helped us to standardize the way we recognize people around the globe, account for some differences in terms of purchasing power, right, and things in value of points, but then make that experience the same for all 9,000 employees around the globe.
I just wanted to add like one really big aspect on that is that we have a global solution on awarding, but are very localized on the redemption options.
What are other core tenets that you've worked with Xoxoday to help build your reward and recognition process?
And one of the core aspects was the integration. So this was a big plus that it's easy integrated. It's integrated by standard. So there is not nothing you have to build on your own, customize. It's all integrated by default. So you basically turn on your single sign-on, and that's it. So that was a big plus. Then the support from the Xoxoday team during the implementation and then also ongoing, like they did really take our needs into account. They did also like try to accomplish all requirements we brought to them. Then another aspect is that you have a bi-directional integration. So one piece is to put the points to Xoxoday in order to redeem, but also then give the feedback to the SAP system so that your balances get decreased and your redemption like history is also shown in the SuccessFactors solution. Also the ongoing support through the team, like we have a close connection to our contacts. We have regular calls where we can bring up really new requirements or troubleshoot like errors.
Gave us some, I'll say, flexibility, not too much in customization, but in application of our cultural beliefs. So as we reward our people for delivering great things, we in our organization have 5 beliefs in our company. For example, customer first or everyone matters, things focused around working together, prioritizing things right, taking a chance. We call that be bold. And we were able to link our reward and recognition system to these beliefs. And then as people go ahead and redeem their points, they understand how their contributions come back to the beliefs of the company. So it really establishes the culture. The other thing that we found as we went forward was Xoxoday was willing to work with us as we enhanced the service offering globally. We had some challenges in some of the markets where we existed, whether it be in Vietnam or in South Korea, and how do we get the translations to work right? And it's important in our organization to be flexible. When you talk about working in a demanding environment, you often get yourself into situations that you don't have a playbook for. So you have to adapt. You have to identify how to get this done. And there were things we challenged Xoxoday to do for us that maybe they hadn't done with other clients, but now they can bring those solutions to other clients. And so we have a relationship, I think, to be a little bit innovative in how we're going to use the program and how we're going to leverage recognition for our employees. And that was important. And we learned that along the way, that they were willing to cooperate with us. And we challenged them throughout this process.
It's great to hear about a co-innovative relationship like that between the implementer and the customer. After implementing Xoxoday, in your role, obviously you're tracking this rewards and recognitions program. What was the initial reaction from your employees at Kennametal, and what did you use to measure how well you were doing, and how did it move the needle on those metrics?
I think when you implement something new, whether it be a program, a rule, or a procedure, there's always some confusion, no matter how easy the solution is. So I'd say like the first reaction is questions and wanting to know more about it and wanting to know the comparison between the old solution versus the new solution. So I'd say that was the first reaction. Now, the option to redeem vouchers for retailers in everyday life, such as like Amazon, Walmart, everyday life things, instead of going in and picking products that we choose for you, I think was a big um, positive note for the employees because we're giving them their choice back. Measuring is going in and pulling the report from Xoxoday's website, reconciling that with our accounts payable team. But I also look at the data because obviously we would like to see what's going on and what people prefer. So we do about 3,000 transactions per month, which I believe is pretty popular.
That's very popular. A lot of companies will implement these and then they just won't get off the ground. And it sounds like the accessibility, the choice has really helped create engagement with your employees. What's ahead for taking that engagement to the next level?
So I'll start by saying one of the things that we, like many companies, are very attuned to is health and safety. With COVID right now, we've given our employees to make the choice whether to be vaccinated or not. But we certainly feel as an organization that we will be safer the more people that are vaccinated as an enterprise. And so we were able to use that as an incentive vehicle to create a safe environment. It was a little bit of an out-of-box way of thinking. But as I went back to a globally standardized way to reward our employees for achieving something, that's what this delivered for us. So we used it in a different way than we thought we would when we implemented it. We had it very much focused on spot awards, and here we made it very much team awards. We're not only rewarding our people, but we're also using it as a vehicle to contribute to World Health Safety and Kennametal organizational safety. We've also talked about how do we leverage this for service awards. What do we do? How do we look at milestones, anniversaries? That's the next phase that we want to go forward and think about, and as well as maybe internal contests when we think about innovation, innovating products. Can we reward teams with incentives and goals and objectives to achieving things, and saying thank you, right? Again, going back to that idea, thank you, and then they can get what they want, whether it's a TV, it's a food voucher, it's a hotel. Really giving them the choice for the work and the efforts that they put forth, besides putting money in their paycheck, which obviously we all like. Andreas, any other ideas that I've forgotten to mention that you have explored as well?
No, I mean, what we do ongoing is we expand the catalogs. So if we get like feedback from the regions to add certain vouchers or cards, we work on that. But I think the most significant thing what we are is on the roadmap for us is the milestone awards, to really have also that part of like recognition in our one-stop shop solution.
So I wanted to thank you for joining us again, and for all of you watching, thank you for following along here on the Technology Insights from SAP Insider.